Mic check, mic check. Welcome to the Dirty Falcon podcast, where we talk everything Falcons football. And today, I got a little subject that I want to touch on because, truthfully, we all know it's enough blame to go around. But it's one topic that I want to talk about that we got to get into. The real reason the Atlanta Falcons lost to the 49ers. And it wasn't just, after rewatching the game, I say it wasn't just Zach Robinson. But he's still on probation with me. But it wasn't just Zach Robinson. It was the offense as a whole. If we really being honest about it, it was the offense as a whole. Protection breakdown, Penny's not going through his progression, some of the play calls, some of the play design. But like when he tried to run the screen with Charlie Warner. But past that, the real reason we lost is because of the offense as a whole. You stopped going away from what was working as well, which is one major factor. As much slack as the fan base was giving Kyle Pitts, as much slack as the fan base was giving Kyle Pitts, that's the game where you really needed Kyle Pitts. If we just being honest about it. And it was a lot of times that Kyle Pitts was open. But that part don't fall on Zach Robinson. That part falls on Penix not going through his progression. And then some of it fell on the O-line protections not being great. Then some of it fell on Penix was getting a little nervous in the pocket, which he needs to quit just standing in the pocket. I'm not saying he needs to run outside of the pocket, but he needs to start moving around the pocket as well. But I know that comes with growth. He's a young quarterback. He got to figure that out. As much as anyone tell him you got to move around the pocket, he got to figure out how to move around that pocket. Because there was times he had chances to move around just inside the pocket. He didn't even have to run. So that's why I said that's the real reason they lost. It was the offense ain't clicking yet. The defense didn't play a great game, but they kept it within winning. A, they kept it within a winning type of distance. And that's basically what I'm saying. That's why you're not going to really hear me speak on the defense, because they kept you in the game regardless of your defense not playing great this game. But there are going to be games where your defense is not going to play great, and it's going to have to be your offense win you the game. This was one of those tests. This was a test. This was a test. This I'm gonna say it again. This was a test. See, not only is it a chess match, it's also a lesson. Whether you win or lose, it's still a lesson inside of it. But this lesson is you got to get this offense together, because the defense kept you within a good game distance. Was it great? No, it wasn't. This wasn't the defense we seen last week, but I'm not going to speak on the defense because they still kept the game manageable and winnable for you. They did not score over 40 points. Yeah, they had to let Christian McCaffrey be Christian McCaffrey, but last week we had to let Josh Allen be Josh Allen as well. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to let great players just do them, but this was one of those quick strike games, basically. That's basically what I'm saying. Because you have two teams that love to run the rock. So it's gonna be a low scoring game. Neither team was really trying to air it out. You feel me? This was just a run the rock and hope your defense can stand up. This what type of game this was. But this not a this how I'm finna explain it to you. If I know I'm going against a coordinator that's like me, that likes to run the rock, I got to pull out the quick plays because I got to score quick. This got to be a quick game because he like to chew clock like I like to chew clock. Us chewing the clock and not scoring is crazy work. You see what I'm saying? But in the same instance, that's why I said $1 Zach Robinson, because one of those plays where we could have scored, Mooney was wide the fuck open. Kyle Pitts was wide the fuck open. Matter of fact, Kyle Pitts was running into the range where Penix was looking. That's why I said Penix wasn't going through his progressions that game. And that's part of him being young. So I'm not hanging that hat against him. So that play, it wasn't Zach Robinson. That's why I said it was a little bit of everybody. One play, the offensive line protection broke down. And Drake was wide open. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't just Zach Robinson. It was the offense as a whole this game. This was one of those real tests. See, I'm mad about the game, but I'm going to tell you why I'm not mad about the game. It's because this is a test we needed early. The Carolina loss was coming off a win, being way too confident and overlooking Carolina. This game was a test as far as y'all need to get this offense to motherfucking together. For real. Y'all need to get this offense together because as a defense, I can't really be mad at Brick. Now, was it great? Was it perfect to watch? No, it wasn't. It was rough. But in my mind, I understand he got to do the same thing Salah got to do because he missing his stars and we missing ours. We was missing Billy Bowman, Jalen Walker. Hell, in this game, even though Troy Anderson would have made a difference. That's what a lot of people don't even realize. Not saying that Troy Anderson should have been out there, but I'm just saying this is the game where you would have needed Troy because you needed linebacker depth. You see what I'm saying? And he and we the fact that even when we put Bertrand out there, they still didn't score more than 20, even though they should have, but they didn't. So the defense held them to 20 points. Did it look good? No. But it's this was a test of the offense. This had nothing to do with the defense. Period. The defense has won you the last 5 or 6 games. So you can't be mad that a team come in and can dismantle a defense who also missing their players too. Kyle just exploit mismatches, and Zach Robinson had exploited some mismatches, but Penix didn't go through his progression, and that one on Zach Robinson. I seen a couple of plays where Penix, if he'd have threw it right then instead of pump faking or threw it right then, I don't know what he was looking at right down the middle of the field on the string. Kyle Pitts, man, there was one play Kyle Pitts was behind the whole defense on the string down the middle of the field, and I guess Penix didn't see him, or maybe he was shook up a little bit from getting hit. I already been saying Penix been getting hit way too much, but nobody listening. But maybe that was had a little bit to do with it too. But he got to take his lumps and bruises. Penix got to take his lumps and bruises as a young quarterback. And I like the fact that he taking them now. Now, had we never mind, I'm not even finna go there. Never mind. That part I'm not finna go back to that because that was last year. But it was really the offense as a whole, man. This was one of them games where I'm gonna be honest, if they'd have kept feeding Kyle Pitts, we'd have won that game. Kyle Pitts was open. They couldn't stop Pitts. Pitts was open everywhere on that field, boy. Go back and watch that game. Pitts was more open than Drake London that game. Because they were really bracketing Drake to a certain extent, but it was times where Drake got open because they were looking at Bijan or Kyle, So it's just crazy. Like what he was doing last year, looking off safeties and all of that. I need him to get back to that. I need Penix to get back to that. Because last year, Penix was looking off safety, throwing bombs. I don't know what made. I have the feeling that I be feeling like someone told him not to throw it down the field almost. Or throw it down the middle. Like he don't take nowhere near the shots he was taking last year. I'm gonna be honest. Penix was taking deep shots last year. He won't take one this year for some odd, strange fucking reason. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's someone telling him not to take them. I don't know if it's, you know what I'm saying, he not trusting what he see. Because what coaches are starting to see is he gets confused in cover two. But his passer rating in cover two is also high. But I'm going to tell you what coach is really seeing. That we don't have a speedster, not a real speedster. We got speed, but we don't have a real speedster. We don't have a man beater at wide receiver. And that's the real problem with our team. We don't have a man beater. So I think that I don't think it's that Penix get confused in man. I think it's that we don't have nobody that get open that fast in man. And he knows that. So they got to take time to allow somebody to get open. When you have a real speedster that can get open, that's already down the field by time Drake and Kyle get in a third or fourth step, that's why. But see, this the crazy work. That's why you got to start spreading Bijan out more in the passing. That's when, see, this game should have been Bijan more in the passing game and Algier more in the running game. But that's neither here nor there. That's just me because they planned for Bijan. See, that's why you got to start. You got too many stars. You need to start featuring a different star every week because teams are keying in on Bijan. And how do you stop that? Okay, they keyed in on Bijan in the San Fran game. So in the next game, I'm going Tyler Algier first. But my star player may be Drake London, or my star player may be Mooney. You see what I'm saying? And when I say star player, I mean the one we finna focus the offense around this week. I be switching it up every week. You wouldn't know who finna get this motherfucker. I'm talking about for real. It may not be Bijan this week. Matter of fact, we may run Bijan like a wide receiver the whole motherfucking game to throw you the fuck off. The whole man, I'm gonna tell you like this. That San Fran game, I'd have spread Bijan out to make their defense spread the fuck out. I'd have put Bijan in the slot, Bijan on the outside. Hell, I'd have put Bijan in the tight end spot everywhere but running back. Just to prove a point. I put Bijan everywhere but running back and let Tyler be the running back in the second half and just punish him and run north and south the whole game and pass to my tight end. and let Bijan take the attention away from Drake and Kyle for real and let them eat. So I'm always put Bijan on the outside because he the fastest motherfucker we got on the team. That's quick. You see what I'm saying? But that also comes with creativity. Zach Robinson need to get a little bit more creative, just a little bit, with his adjustments. That's what I'm noticing. When it's time to make an adjustment after halftime, you got to make some real adjustments. That's why I said, for me, Bijan wasn't even a touch a running back. Bijan been everywhere but running back in the second half of that San Fran game. Now we finna spread your defense the fuck out, get that pass rush off of us. Now we finna pull some safeties and some linebackers. Now we finna make you have to spread that defense out instead of letting you stack the box. So now we finna let Tyler pain you straight up the middle, north and south, period. And that's just being real. All the way around the board. I'd have definitely, that'd have been, man, look, after halftime, boy, I'd adjusted everything. We came out running the rock with Tyler to get my quarterback back comfortable, get the jitters back out of him. And that's just real. I'd have switched it up. And we were coming out under center. We ain't coming out in the pistol. We gonna still slide pistol in there, but I'm coming out under center. I'm finna confuse all of you. I'm finna let Tyler run it down your throat. I'm going under center and I'm passing Tyler the rock. After the second half, I'm passing Tyler the rock. Period. Let him do his thing, spread Bijan out wide, take some safeties and linebackers with me, and clear the middle of the field for Tyler Algier. But that's neither here nor there. That ain't what they did, but I'm just speaking on adjustments that can't type of shit you can get creative with this team that he not doing. North and south down their throat. Quit trying to run Bijan. Not saying don't run them, but this wasn't the game for him. This was the game where you give him your heavy hitter and spread Bijan out and take some linebackers and safeties to the sideline. Every time we putting Bijan in the slot, making sure he takes some safeties with him. Matter of fact, if you want to get real, I'd have took Bijan, put Bijan outside of Drake in the passing game and let Drake sit in the slot. Because why? Bijan gonna take a cornerback and a safety with him because they know he got the speed. But the whole time we pounding you with Tyler Algier up the middle. Like, man, look, I don't know. That's just me though. But I think that yes, this offense need to get a way more creative. Way more creative. Pennies need to start going through his progressions better. Remember that what Kyle told Matt Ryan. Kyle Shanahan had picked Matt Ryan off in practice and told him why he picked him off and how he did. That how I knew this game wasn't gonna be easy. And it wasn't because of Zach Robinson for me. It's because I know we have a young quarterback back there that's inexperienced, and you talking about the coaching of Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh versus, and that's why I said it wasn't all Zach Robinson. Because some of them plays I seen, boy, was supposed to be touched down. Kyle Pitts and Drake London wide the fuck open. Penix just, I don't know. He got shook. I don't know if he was gunshot. I don't know what it is, honestly. It's just he have his moments where I think for me, I think it's Penix getting hit too much behind that offensive line, bro. Even though he get clean pockets, he nervous in them clean pockets. He getting a little nervous now. Because one thing Penix had at Washington was not he didn't have speed, he had man beaters. Look at the receivers he had. He had some big receivers, but he also had some receivers with some speed that could beat man coverage. The Atlanta Falcons don't really have one that can beat man coverage as far as speed coming off the line. That play have to develop. So if the offensive line don't hold up, you got to get a play time to develop for real. But that's any play, so that eliminates that excuse. The offense need to get their shit together. And that's why I said this game was a test. If our defense don't have the, because see, our defense been playing lights out low key. Our defense been playing lights out low key. This game put a stain on their resume, on their record, on their, you know, rankings or whatever, for PFF and everything. But truthfully, I don't care nothing about none of that shit, because what I see from this defense, even though Christian McCaffrey had his day, but that's Christian McCaffrey. I'd expect nothing else of him. Yeah, people act like they forgot who Christian McCaffrey was. He was just hurt. This might be the first season where Christian McCaffrey damn near fully healthy in the last year or two. So with a fully healthy, fully revitalized Christian McCaffrey, that's exactly what I expect from him. You can't stop him. You just got to limit him. And I still feel the defense did a good job of limiting him. And Bijan could have had the same type of night if you'd have used him in different ways instead of trying to make it the Bijan show. Last night wasn't for the Bijan show. If you want the Bijan show last night, you should have put Bijan doing more receiving than running, because they were keying in on him. And let you use Bijan as the clear out and let everybody else eat that way. See, that's why I said you got to get creative, man. Because I'd have let Bijan be the clear out receiver this week against the San Francisco 49ers. I have him coming out the backfield on wheel routes as a receiver. Anything besides trying to run the ball, because that is what they expect. That's what they were keying in on, how shifty he is running. So now I'm not finna run him from the backfield. I'm finna put him in open space and let Bijan eat y'all alive. That's what I'd have did. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I'm not the OC, but he got to get a little bit more creative. He do. Because I can get more creative than that. And please, please, for the life of me, scratch the Kyle Pitts screen. Please, for the life of me, just throw that play away. He's not the one. Should nobody on that team be running the screen but Bijan Robinson, if we really just gonna be honest. Bijan Robinson or Tyler Algier. Other than that, I don't want to see nobody else running the screen. And I'm just being real. Maybe Drake London here and there, but I'm not really for the screen. I don't even like you to run that too much. Screens and jet sweeps, I'm not big fans of them two right there. I'm just tuckered out of both of them, from Steve Sarkisian to Arthur Smith. But I do feel Arthur Smith is a better play caller than Zach Robinson. But Arthur Smith also got more time at play calling than Zach Robinson. That's why a lot of people say he's going off to the college. I don't see it. I think he want to perfect his play calling in the NFL first. It will get him a bigger bag. But if he go, cheers to him. I say bring in. But if he go, look, bring in somebody experienced. experience under their belt. That's what I really. But if he was to stay, the question is, are you willing to give him time to grow like Penix? Because truthfully, our OC and our quarterback is rookies. If you really want to be honest about it, our OC and our quarterback is rookies. That's what we're not understanding. So all that year two of the system, I didn't think it was gonna look pretty. But I thought we put up more points than this. I ain't gonna lie. But I didn't think it was gonna look pretty because I understood that my OC and my quarterback both are rookies in this game. So the 49ers game, that was the only thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only thing that scared me about this season was coaching. It wasn't the players. It was the coaching staff. It was not the players. Because, like I said, I can't lie. I'm with Tidy on this one. Shout out Atlanta Bird gang. I'm with Tidy on this one. Y'all act like we were going against some slouches. That's why I was saying the shit I was saying about he has to get creative because I know good and well who besides our Super Bowl, I can't sit here and act like that man ain't a guru. Because if we want to be 1,000, our offense ain't been right since that man left. And I'm going to be honest. My cousin, who a Tampa Bay fan, he the one told me that. When he was laughing, he was like, boy, y'all ain't been right since Kyle Shanahan left. And when I sat back and thought about that shit, where's the lie? Not offensively. Not like we was with him. And I ain't saying Zach Robinson can't be that, but he a rookie. Even though I did make the statement that Arthur Smith was a better OC than Zach Robinson. But Zach Robinson is a rookie. Arthur Smith wasn't. And am I saying Arthur Smith was the best? No. But the one thing I respect, and to this day, I respect what's going on, Winston. And one thing I respect and respected about Arthur Smith was Arthur Smith would run that ball down your goddamn throat until you could really stop it or until he got tired because he knew he had a quarterback that was inaccurate with Desmond Ritter, Taylor Heineke, and truth be told, Marcus Mariota did a little bit like Kirk. Matter of fact, if you want to be honest, he was about on the same pace as Kirk Cousins, and he fell apart too, honestly, at the seams. In that Carolina game, if I ain't mistaken, he fell apart before the Carolina game, but y'all know what I'm saying. It was about the same scenario, except for Raheem and Terry was a little bit more aware and went and got a backup quarterback. Hold on, Winston. I'm about to drop this link. Hold up. Let me see. Here we go. Let me see how they bit. Yeah, there we go. Let me see. Why does my thing come up as a comment? Not a. I think they wanted me doing everything to make me upgrade this service. Oh, damn it. No, there we go. Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me? Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me in the chat? Can you hear me in the chat? Can you hear me? Mic check. Mic check. But yeah, like I was saying, it was just the offense as a whole, man. The offense as a whole, they got to get their shit together. That's the real reason we lost. The offense as a whole got to get their shit together. So that way they can score points when the defense may have an off night. It's gonna be nice the defense have an off night, especially now that you're talking about Divine Diablo done went down for a little minute. And it's not like we got Troy Anderson back there. We got Benkert back there. We got Benkert back there. So, it's crazy work right now. They just gotta get their shit together. And that basically what's going on. So at this point, it's really on them to get that shit together. If they want to be elite, they got to understand we went against an elite coaching staff, bro. This ain't Shanahan first year being head coach. This ain't Robert Saleh first year of being a DC. And you talking about two of the best minds in the game. Really resemble Kyle Shanahan and Dan Quinn if you really want to be honest about it. You know, but I think we're gonna get better, man. It's just the whole team gotta go through growing pains, bro. That's what y'all don't understand. It's a new unit. And I'm sticking with the unit. And for the fans talking about bench Penix, man, please stop it. Please, please, please stop it. We not benching the young bull because he had one off night. And now y'all want to bench the young bull because he had one off night. Like, I just know. But anyway, this was gonna be a little short pop-up live. Catch me live later on this evening when the next topic is how do you bounce back from this? That's gonna be probably gonna be my next topic. But as of right now, Everybody have a great day. Appreciate you for coming through and listening. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Come fuck with your boy. Well, we talking real Falcon football. It's time to get back to Dirty Bird status. I think we bird status right now. We not at the Dirty Bird part yet because it was just a statement set behind Dirty Birds. So yeah, y'all continue to come through, catch me live. If you come back and listen later, I know a lot of y'all at work, so come back and listen later. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Gone.